and welcome back to my final craft kit from my thrift store craft kit haul. This is the Make Your Case Phone and iPod Case Needlepoint. So I guess the gist of it is that you are going to be able to create these needlepoint designs that then fit into these cell phone cases that they provide. It says they provide 4 for the iPod Touch 5, the iPhone 4, the iPhone 5, and the Galaxy 3 or Galaxy 4. Now, I actually happen to have an old Galaxy 4 phone that I use as a security camera for my front door. So I'm gonna use that to do this. It looks like it comes with a bunch of different like needlepoint plastic bits here, as well as some embroidery thread. Yeah, so I guess, we also have 2 needles, an activity sheet with patterns, and yeah, I guess let's just get going. I will not lie to you, I have actually already opened this one, only because my lighting got a little messed up last night, so I kind of have one that's already done, but I'm still going to show you how everything's kind of put together and still share some of my thoughts. Alright, so when you open it up, you have these 3 phone/iPod cases. You get these, I think there's 12 of them, so you get 3 different kinds of shapes, I guess, depending on the case that you grab. There's like 3 different ones that you can flip out. On the back of the box, it actually says that you can like switch out your case every day and make your phone case look different every day, which I guess is kind of cool, especially if I guess you're into needle pointing. This one has the most, I think, because there's like 6 of these ones with the one thing. I think that's the iPod or the iPhone and the iPod ones. These ones, there's only 3 of these, and I had 3 of these square ones, which fits right into the Galaxy phone case, which is what I have. The thing that I think I don't like the most about this is yellow is definitely not my favorite color. I don't hate it, but I definitely would have preferred literally any one of these other 4 colors besides yellow, but I don't really have that choice. Not to mention, I don't have an iPhone or an iPod. I actually never have, for no real reason other than the fact that I haven't. So I don't know what I'm going to do with these. So I'm almost paying for things that I can't really use. So I don't know if maybe it would be more beneficial to make cases or packs like this where you can, I don't know, I guess, select what phone it's for with like different colors and whatnot. But I also see how this could be a really cool thing if you had like a bunch of friends coming over and they all had different phones in like 2010 probably, because I don't think anyone has these phones anymore. Or gosh, even an iPod, I really don't think anyone does. But we're gonna get started on one of these and just kind of walk through the process. So to get this started, I've got this yellow embroidery floss, one of the needles that they provide. These actually have a pretty decent point to them, even though they look pretty thick. So I'm actually kind of glad that I have 2 of these because I can definitely use them for other projects. You're going to need the appropriate plastic for whatever phone case you are trying to needlepoint. So the hardest part, honestly, is threading. And I know some people will take the thread and kind of like split it up into a couple bits and pieces. I think it doesn't really matter for this particular project, and I know on the first one that I did, I didn't bother. There we go. So I don't actually tie any knots on this. I just kind of let it go. I learned this the hard way from a needlepoint. I believe it was a cross-stitch pattern that I did for someone for Christmas, and it took forever because I was constantly trying to force this giant knot through. You shouldn't have to do that, so don't. I actually didn't even bother cutting off the thread yet, especially because this is really just the demonstration. I have the finished one later. The way that you're going to do this is there's a couple of different stitches you can do. There's of course the running stitch where you kind of go in and out. The only thing that's rough about the running stitch is when you come back up, you do end up having like an empty space. So that's kind of rough. In order to combat that, you can do something called a back stitch. The back stitch actually has it where you start up one side on the second point of where you would enter if you were doing a running stitch, and then go back into where that first point would have been. So then you come up maybe 2 bits in front and then go back down through this so that you get the running stitch but everything is connected. Something that I think is really interesting though, specifically about this, in the directions, the only stitches that they actually take you through are very basic like front way stitches. So it only has like lines going in a single direction. They also teach a diagonal stitch in that same way, and then the cross stitch. So I guess I'll show you those to you guys. So obviously here we have this very basic back stitch representation. If we wanted to do the straight stitch, you go through on your entry point, go over however many you want. I'm just going to go 4 squares for now, and pull it back in, and then you go up directly below it, up, and then back down on the other side, so you can create these sort of parallel lines across it. Another thing that they show you is the diagonal stitch, which is extremely similar, except you're actually going diagonally. So I'm going to do that like this, maybe go up 1, 2 diagonally, go back in, pull out, then come up in the diagonal space next to it, pull up, and then back down 2 spaces down, so that you can create this diagonal pattern. And the last thing that they show you is the cross stitch. So that is in like 4 areas. You can pop through one, pull it tight, go directly across down to one side, up through the top, and down through the other. So this definitely has more of a cross stitch vibe than, say, an embroidery vibe, though I do think that it is possible to do some different embroidery techniques on this. I think that the instructions are extremely basic, which I think makes sense for the age level that this is being given to, but something like the back stitch could also be extremely beneficial to teach on here, and I'm very surprised that they've really chosen not to include that. I think the directions are relatively clear. They have like a little direction of like entry points and whatnot, so you can see exactly how it goes. It doesn't seem so bad. The directions at the end say that when you're finishing your case, insert the finished needlepoint mesh into the phone case so that the decorated surface faces the front of the case, and then insert the image into that specific device. So I'm gonna go grab my Samsung Galaxy 4 and my finished needlepoint from yesterday, and we're just gonna pack it in and see how it looks. So here is the design I did. I just used that straight stitch to create the sky, the grass, a single line for the stem, and did a little like awkward filling in here. I wish I would have done some more cross stitches. All of these up here are just single straight stitches done around or diagonal, done in like different directions to create these like 5 petals of this flower. I did not bother tying knots in the back. I didn't think it was necessary, and I think I was really afraid that when I actually attached this to the phone that it was going to kind of like keep it from staying tight against the phone, and if you're getting this to actually be a phone case, you really don't want that to be where your phone is kind of popping out. I'm actually kind of nervous about it with this here because it is kind of lumpy and bumpy, and I just wanted to be on the safe side here. So everything is pretty much taped down in the back, if you can see the glare from the tape there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop this on the inside of this case here. Looks like it's just got to fit nicely in between these like lines, I guess. And here is my horribly cracked old Samsung Galaxy 4. I really wish there was a way to actually like anchor this in there, because there really isn't right now. Okay, and I think it's on. So I guess it stayed in pretty okay. I can definitely tell that it's kind of like rounding a little bit, probably from all the, fabric in the back, but I guess it's holding in pretty fine. I don't know how this would look with some knots in the back of the fabric, or the plastic, I suppose. But I don't think it looks horrible. I definitely think this would be really cute for, basically just starting off on a new skill, especially for younger people who maybe want to just start getting into something like this. Would I recommend this kit though? I'm probably gonna say no. It is really easy to get the needle through these plastic bits, but I think because you're essentially getting 3 phone cases that you probably can't use, you only have 3 different colors of thread, and you're really limited to the kind of color of phone case you get. It doesn't seem like you can really get the most for your money out of it. If this is supposed to be some sort of party gift, or if you have a child who wants to make phone cases for their friends, this might work out. But the other thing that kind of is rough about it is how old the phone case styles are. Most people who have smartphones at this particular year probably aren't going to have Samsung 4s or iPhone 5s or 3s or whatever it is that they have, so, or even iPods. So I'm not going to give this a thumbs up. I would actually say I would give this a thumbs down, though I do think it is a really cool idea. So with all that said, thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, stay tuned to Sunday for another crafty video. And if you want to see any more craft kit reviews, leave your comments in the section below so that I know what kinds of kits I should be keeping my eye out for. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.